So let's now move on to question number 2. So where we're going to be writing each of the expressions as a single log expression. So that means we need to condense or combine these into one log expression. So when it comes to each of the properties, we would have to sort of basically use them backwards. So essentially, we're looking at the properties from here, and then we're trying to get to this form. All right. First thing is I would recommend is any of the positive terms to put them in the beginning of the expression, and any of the negative terms, put them at the end of the expression. So this is already arranged in that way. So here's a positive log 3, positive 2 log x, and then the negative log 5 is at the end. So this indicates that this part would be in the numerator, and this would be the denominator. Okay, now before we combine them into the numerator and denominator, we want to make sure that if there's any numbers in front of the log expressions, to move them here where they become a power. So now we're taking this step and moving it back to get this form. Okay, so let's go back and set this up. So now we're gonna have log 3 plus log x squared minus log of 5. Okay, now once we're done with that, again, we can combine these to multiply in the numerator. And this part will be in the denominator. If there's multiple negative terms, they'll all be multiplied in the denominator. Okay, and we're done with this problem. Okay, now let's write down the second problem, 2b. Okay, so here we have 1/3 parentheses 5 natural log of x plus 6 minus natural log of x minus natural log of x squared minus 25. Okay. So first thing we'd want to do is this 1/3, we're going to distribute it across to get rid of the parentheses. So we get 5/3 natural log of x plus 6 minus 1/3 natural log of x minus 1/3 natural log of x squared minus 25. Okay, next, these can then be moved to be the exponents of their corresponding log expression. So we end up with natural log of x plus 6 to the power of 5/3 minus natural log of x to the third, and then minus natural log of x squared minus 25 to the third. Okay, so now this term is positive, and then these two terms are negative. So these two terms essentially are going to be in the denominator. Now, if that's not clear why, what you could think about is if I factor out a -1 from this term and this term, I put like parentheses here and here. So that's basically factoring out -1. What happens is this becomes a plus. So this becomes a plus. That means these two terms must multiply based on that property for adding log terms. So we end up with natural log of x plus 6 5 over 3. And then here we have x to the third, and then x squared minus 25 to the third. Now, notice that each of these, essentially you could stop here, but if you want to just simplify a bit more, what you could do is each of these have a power of a third. So if we take that out, we're going to be left with x to the power, x plus 6 to the power 5, because we're going to take out the third, x, and then x squared minus 25. And then put all of this to the power of 1/3. So this is one way to write the final answer. Or if you want to write this as a radical, you could also write it like this, because a third is the radical cube root. Okay. In my eyes, both of these answers are valid. Okay, now let's look at the third example in this section. So 2C. So in 2C, we have 1/3 log base 4 x minus log base 4 y, and then outside plus 2 log base 4 x plus 1. Okay, so let's first start off by distributing the third. We get third log 4x minus a third log 4y plus 2 log 4x plus 1. Then we can move these to become the exponents. So we get log 4 of x to the third minus log 4 of y to the third plus 2 log 4x plus 1. Now let's move terms around. So this log 4x to the third, this one's already positive. We should keep that where it is. However, this one is negative, negative log 4y to the third. So we're going to move that to the end. So essentially, we're going to switch these two locations. So we're going to get log 4x to the third plus 2 log 4x plus 1 minus log 4y to the third. All right, finally, these two are going to be in the numerator because they're being added. And then everything here is going to be in the denominator. We get log base 4 x to the third times, oh, I forgot to do something. This 2 can be moved here to become an exponent. So we're going to actually end up with x plus 1 squared. Okay. And then that gets divided by the y to the 1/3. And then we can stop here. This one, the powers are not the same because this has x to the third, and then this one is x plus 1 squared. So there's no point in taking the third power out because they have different powers. So you could basically stop here.